Let's talk tax now. A tax rebate is a reduction in tax liability offered by governments to stimulate the economy. Its essence is to get more cash into the hands of consumers for reinjection into the economy. In Nigeria, the federal government has been urged to introduce tax rebates for individuals and organizations investing in education, healthcare, food security, and poverty eradication initiatives. During the Inner City Mission Global Roundtable in Lagos, Pastor Titus Temison of Christ Embassy noted that while poverty may never be eradicated completely, its impact can be reduced drastically through collective compassion and legislative incentives. Okay, tax. Nobody likes the tax man, but this time tax rebate. The tax rebate for individuals and organizations invested in health, education, food security, and poverty eradication. Is this a good idea?
Well, it's good, because it would encourage more people, to see how they can invest in education and help people. In fact, it's just to reduce the burden on people.
Okay.
Because if you look at some people, there's tax rebates, that is where tax refund comes in.
Yes.
If you overpay that is when government can say, okay, fine, we want to refund
you.
Okay, and that also helps to stimulate the economy one way or the other. Because once you know that if I'm doing something, I'm overpaying my tax, government would, give me back my money.
Okay.
I can invest in education. I can invest in healthcare. I can invest in even giving people. From what you just read,
yes,
they were actually giving out, incentives to people. So they are also looking at maybe a form of maybe what they should have even used shouldn't even have been rebates. It should have been maybe like tax relief, for companies.
Okay.
There was one they did for Dangote and Co. Companies, individuals can ask for it from government, and saying there are institutions, just like we are even talking about public universities. You can go and say, okay, I want to repaint a particular institution, and I do not want to pay tax in XYZ time. And government can look at it and see if it's a genuine thing, and then they will give you that relief as a company or as an individual. I don't know if the new tax law has a room
for things
like
that. Okay.
You understand? Has a room for things like this. And if it does, it's fantastic. You will see so many people who want to come in to assist, to give government a helping hand, because it's more like also giving government a helping hand.
And to stimulate the economy here.
Completely, because so many people, will even be taken out of that poverty line.
Absolutely.
Because right now we cannot eradicate poverty. We can only reduce it.
Okay. But Nigeria needs money. How feasible is this for the federal government to do this tax rebate? We'll talk about that right after this break. Don't go away. All right, welcome back. It's still Journalist Hangout. So,
government needs money.
How feasible is it for the federal government to introduce tax rebates without worsening our Nigeria's tight fiscal position?
I think what the man or the group is asking for is on point in terms of rebate. But I think in my language or in Nasukot's word, I think they should be asking for relief. But let's stay on what they have asked for, rebate. Now, you need to claim, you need to prove it. You need to explain to people that this is what you have been doing. Because there must be an empirical proof.
Okay.
You understand? Before they can refund this money to you. This happens abroad, but I think it's more of relief. If you have pets in your house, do you know that some things are cut off from your tax system abroad?
Yeah, that's over there. Right?
No. Where I'm going is, let's be careful. Some people will not abuse this.
They abuse.
Because I've seen people who don't really like animals, but because they want a tax relief, they are coping with the cat. And if they find out that you don't really love this cat that you are putting in your house, they will seize it just like they will seize your child that you're not taking care of. So it's for us not to allow people cut corners. It's a lovely idea. It's something that we should encourage, whether in the name of CSR or in the name of having enough proof that you have done this for this street, for all these non-profit organizations, like some churches around, what do you call it now? The Winners Chapel, what they are doing on the road, building bridges. Such people, you know, I know they don't pay the real tax that we talk about, but we have seen a situation where if you're working there and you're collecting salary, you should pay tax. So those things are going to be straightened out in this new tax reform. But having said that, I think the most important thing is everything he has asked for is on point. And I think government should consider it. What is important is government should do their thorough check, let the people in the system not use it to cut corners with those people who are asking for those taxes. But if it will be abused, government should not consider it. If it will not be abused, it's quite in order.
I mean, Kaide has raised a very serious well, because if this will work, what mechanisms do you think should be put in place to prevent such abuse, such as false reporting of social investments? You know, just to reduce tax liability.
Yeah, so I think that is a very valid you know, suggestion. We need to make sure that people who want this tax rebate, we know where they are from.
Okay.
You know, we know their addresses.
Antecedents as well.
We know their revenue, their income, and those who will benefit. It might not just be only the organization, maybe individuals in that organization, with everything, with proof. Because at the end of the day, you just find out that one obscure NGO from somewhere will just come and say, oh, we are doing this, and we have been doing it since 10 years. You know, and at the end of the day, you now check their books. Maybe they just registered last year, CAC. Yes. By the time you start, because we do not, government will have to check. So I think that's where maybe they will have to create maybe an ombudsman.
Yeah.
You know,
to monitor,
to check before they have to go there, think about this initiative. It's a laudable initiative, you know, because most churches are right now trying to see how they can help people, give that relief to people, you know, just to pull one or two families out of poverty. Okay. So if government will look at this angle and say, okay, fine, we want to see how this can help for now. They must make sure that they set up a little committee that will be able to look at, okay, which company or which individual can we give this rebate. It shouldn't be an all-comers affair, because once you open the gates, the floodgates, you will be shocked at the number of NGOs that will want to come from.
That will want to come. Part of it is food security. I can just, there's a little farm.
Exactly. So we must make sure that we do not allow people to just come with fictitious names and claims. And at the end of the day, instead of government benefiting from this whole thing, they are
and it might end up becoming a racket between the people working there and the people collecting. They'll go and share. What are we talking about?
So
we see it in NYSC.
We must make sure that we cut corruption in everywhere possible. You know, that is why even the 2026, by the time the tax laws, you know, come out, we want to see, government want to see how much they'll be generating. That is why all federal agencies, they are all moving their money straight to one account by next year. Okay, so if government is going to consider this, they will have to look at it. Will it be beneficial? Will it help people? Who are the people? You know, who are the companies? Maybe they can even draw up, you know, something that if you want to benefit, these are the criterias, you know, for you to, you know, benefit from this. You know, perhaps maybe it might be if it's a church, for instance, how many branches do you have? When we are here established? Who are the number of workers that want to benefit from this rebate? Or how much as a church do you want to benefit? You know, how much have you been paying? Churches don't pay tax anyway. So, but at least individuals who are working and are paying tax, you know, and they want rebates, you know, government will have to look at it. It's a very good idea. It's a very good idea. It's a good suggestion.
But do you think subnationals should also be encouraged, to replicate this kind of tax incentive?
Of
Because we're
course.
looking at federal government now,
Yeah.
for the state governments as well.
So whatever form of taxes the request is coming, if it is solely federal, then we should take out subnationals. Well, because I don't know whether it's income tax or whichever tax he's talking about. But what is most important is such persons should be encouraged, especially people who are investing in education, people who are building schools, building laboratories,
building hospitals.
People
and
should be
even
able to
resettlement for food, food security.
Exactly.
They
should be encouraged because we are seriously reducing poverty. Eradication of poverty looks very, very
And at the end of
impossible.
the day, it will stimulate the economy a great deal.
Exactly.
But anyway, gentlemen, it's a fine place for us to leave it. Kaidila Dende, thank you so much.
You mean we're done?
Yeah. How time flies. It's a fine place for us It's a fine place for us to leave it. Kaidila Dende, thank you so much for doing this. So that's Asuko James.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back.
Thank
it's
you
good
so
to
much.
have you
Thank
back.
you
You
so
look
much.
fresher, your cheek, everything is all coming out. That rest is good.
It's
The
good.
rest is good. And that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Benga. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.